We now have a paper presentation on astrological significance in Veena Player's horoscope, presented by Mrs. Tarakeshwari Murugesan, PhD scholar, Annamala University. Please welcome with a big round of applause. Thank you.
My namaskaras to all the great masters, the gurus, and my humble thanks to the organizers, and my namaskaras to all the rasikas. So here I am to present Veena Yoga in music and in astrology. When we get to the word Veena Yoga, they say Veena itself is a yoga that reaches to the ultimate. So that is called, in a way, Veena Sadhana, or the Nada Upasana on the Veena, which takes you to the ultimate. And Veena Yoga is, in astrology, is considered as one of the beneficiary patterns of astrology. So the Veena Yoga in astrology is a beneficiary chart in the birth charts of a unique personality, where the Veena Yoga gives a person a multifaceted area where he is very good in fine arts. So in comparative study of these two in music and astrology, there are very interesting facts which have been hidden deep into our culture, into the Vedas, and into the texts. And that in revealing these, I have a great honor in being given this opportunity. The next one. So, as we know, music has emanated from Om, and definitely everything in the Veena has the wholesome effect of the Nada Brahma in the Veena itself. So, the Sarigama Padani, as we say, the basic swaras in music, is related completely to the 7 chakras in the body. So they say from the Mooladhara to the Sahasrara, Sa, Re, Gama, Padani are connected to the planets, because the macrocosm and the microcosm are very connected. Like Andathil Ulladu Pindathil says a Siddhar. So everything in the universe is in a miniature in a human body. The next. So coming to Vattapalai of Silappadigaram, this was by Ilangovadigal, one of the 5 great epics of Tamil literature, Silappadigaram. He, very early days itself, he talks a lot about music, dance, then acoustics, and a lot about talas. And here he says the 7 saptaswaras branches out into 12 swarasthanas, and he says they are 12 rasis, or the 12 houses in the astrological chart, and then he says they are connected to 12 months of the year. So that is how Ilangovadigal goes in detail, but because I have less time, I can't go in detail for that. So the great epic writer, Sri Ilangovadigal, has given us the start there itself 2000 years ago. Next. So again, Swami Sri Muthuswami Dikshar, a great Nada yogi, he has also taken one step ahead, telling the talas are also related to the planets. So, for example, Chatushajati Durva Talam with 14 aksharas, he says the Surya, the planet, the great Lord Surya, travels up and down the 7 lokas. So 7 plus 7 is 14. So the 14 akshara Dhruva Tala was chosen as the Kirtana in Saurashtra for the Navagraha Kriti by Dikshidhar, and the Talam was set like that because the great Nada Yogi Sri Dikshidhar was a Mahanyani also. So he has equated the planets, so that equally applies connected to the chakras and definitely to the talas and to the ragas. Next. Now coming to the 12 chakras. Now 7 swaras branches out into 12 swarasthanas, while the chakras are 7 in major division. But when you go for 5 upachakras, they become 7 plus 5 as 12. So when A is equal to B and A is equal to C, then B and C are also equal. So similarly, the chakras, the swarasthanas, the Melakarta chakras. So this was a study that hit my mind across, because when Rivan and Gavan, or the Sutta Rishabham and Suddha Gandharam is in the first Mela chakra, they connected between the Mooladhara chakra and the Swadhisthana, there is a Rupa chakra. So they get connected, and automatically the first Indu chakra gets connected to Mooladhara, and definitely it affects the Mooladhara chakra and one upachakra between the Re chakra and the Sa chakra. So this is how the great people have connected and interconnected and interspersed with so many details, which is not enough. This is just a beginning point. It has to go much deeper. Next. So now, that is why finally I understood this was a picture from the Reiki healing book. So this struck my mind. When the energy points from the planets, they spin the energy points in our bodies. Automatically, it enhances the vitality. And so, what happens when you sing the Ra, when you sing the Sa or Ri or Ga in the correct resonance, or when you play on the Veena particularly, because Veena is constructed like the Maha Meru Chakra. They say the older and ancient texts say that Veena is exactly the Meru. When you play, you get immediately connected to the resonance of the chakras, the resonance of the planets, and automatically lots of magical affairs go inside. To particularly say the influence of that corresponding chakra touches the corresponding psychic center and automatically vibrates and spins. So the psychological toxins, the food that we eat, the toxins from the food, and the gunas and the moods, there are lots of toxins coming in and out. So music has the great benefit of taking out the toxins by sadhana in a Veena particularly, because the Veena nada is the best nada, they say, that has been come from the before even Vedic times. So when playing Sarigamapadani or Sanidapa Magari, the distribution of the energy from the planets to the body chakras and to all the internal parts of the body is structured here like this. So it shows from Swarasthana, from Arohana, Avarohana to the Manodharma Sangita, the energy from the planets and the distribution of energy from the planets to the chakras and to the other bodies take a very, very massive impact on the mind of the soul, and automatically ultimate or to reach the God realization should not be a very difficult process except for Abhyasa. Abhyasa takes a long time. So that is where you sharpen every area of the soul and realize the soul finally. Next. So when it comes to astrology, they say there are Sankhya Nabhas Yoga on the methodological numerical structure of the houses of the astrological chart. So when in an astrological chart, when excluding, they normally exclude Ragu and Kedu because they are Chaya Swaras and they are just intersectional nodes in the atmosphere, in the universe. Though they are very powerful, but they are called Chaya Swaras. But all great people took only 7 into consideration. So when it comes to the planetary of the Veena Yoga in a Jataka, Veena Yoga in a Jataka says, when 7 planets are placed one after the other, nearby each other consecutive, they say that person would be a multi-talented person and particularly interested in arts, fine arts and Veena. He's going to come up very well in Veena, and this is a rare Jataka combination called the Veena Yoga in astrology. Next comes the Damini Yoga. So this Veena Yoga resembles the Sampurna Raga pattern because the 7 swaras, Sampurna Raga is very, very considered as the Thai Ragas or the complete Ragas from which there are unlimited number of Janya Ragas. So the Veena Yoga in a person's astrology is so similar to the Sampurna Ragas. And next comes Damini Yoga, where all the 7 planets are fitted into 6 houses. And so that in a way resembles the Shadava Ragas. And the Pash Yoga has all the 7 planets in 5 houses. So definitely it equates the Audava Ragas. And Kedar Yoga is 7 planets all fully structured into 4 houses. And so they call Swarandhara Ragas. And there is always a connection and a parallels and a matching between astrology and music, which it cannot be go unrecognizable. Next. Now, when you get into the astrologies of particularly Veena artists, I am not an astrologer, but after a thorough study, still I'm not good at it. I'm just in the beginning step. What the astrologer says, your 3rd house from the Lagna, the 3rd house should be very effective or very strong. So the passion for music comes from willpower. Without willpower, music is a difficult area to go in. And the commitments towards sadhana. So you should be fully committed, definitely disciplined in your sadhana period. Then finally, the 3rd house also influences fine arts. Then the usage of fingers and hands, particularly for the Veena person. Now, using the fingers, even a carpenter uses his fingers, even a hairdresser uses his fingers. But still here, fine arts means it goes to Veena, and particularly the traditional type of Veena playing is considered here. Then the Vairagya, through Vairagya, the rishis knew rigorous practice and one-mindedness and the sharpness in your practice and the grasping of things in fine arts will slowly take internal changes. The internal changes is that I, me and mine, that ego is automatically annihilated slowly. That is why it's easy to reach the ultimate, particularly because of Veena Vadana. Then Upadesha. Here Upadesha means not only Jnana Upadesha from a Jnana Guru, even a Vidya Guru gives the techniques, the do's and don'ts. So the student has to be for a stretch of years with the Guru to learn the nuances of the Veena. So in a way, this is also called Upadesha. And when the third house Lord is strong, the person in Veena as a Guru has the liberty or has all the strength and confidence to give the Upadesha to the student. Then house of hard work. Without hard work, it's very, very difficult on the Veena. So that is also a boon of the third house Lord. Then the storage of physical karma or the past karma is slowly decayed off by the vibrations of the Veena. The vibrations of the Veena, that once it enters into a ear, it is converted into neurological vibrations that slowly changes your thought pattern, your attitude pattern. Slowly lots of transformation takes inside and automatically that leads to moksha. But definitely it takes time because sadhana is not easy. There is no shortcuts for moksha, no shortcuts for easy playing on the Veena. Next. Now, the main energy provider for the Veena players or for anything in the world that be, Mars is the important person. So, they say Chavva Uchathala irunda enna vena seiyalam because Chavva is said to be the soldier or the Thalapati of the astrological point. So, he provides a lot of energy because in practice you need a lot of energy to practice body, physical stamina, mental stamina, because when you practice Veena, sometimes you might meet failures, sometimes disappointment, sometimes bitterness, but you have to come across all with the stability of the Mars, physically, mentally and psychologically. So automatically the way of practicing, it should have consistent practice, the quality of your practice should be very consistent. So on stage, without the awareness of the people around us, the Veena Upasakar or the Veena Sadhaka should just pour out that comes onto the fingers. Now the Mars and the third house, totally both together give us a qualitative and a regular intense practice without which to come out to the limelight is very difficult. Stable, definitely physical and mental health, and your moods have to be maintained. These moods can be maintained and the stamina can be given and the energy can be provided by these planets, then definitely for the performance and for teaching, both these two strong houses help us. It applies for a student too. Next. So, in Veena, there is a short-term process. Means, few people come into Veena and after a few years, they are gone. Why is that? So, it happens when Mars becomes weak after a period of time, they just fizzle out and then go away. Then, if there are interference from the lords of the 6th, 8th and the 12th house, hurdles keep coming. Either they get transferred, they go away from the teacher, or ill health, something crosses their way of learning, or even performance. So, these hurdles are for the short-term people in Veena. For long-term, particularly for maestros, which they take this boon until their ends, is a well-placed Mars, definitely the strong third house, and many combination of planets come in. So we see a comparison of maestros in different types in the next slide. So teaching in a way is a performance. Because as you teach in small prayogas, you have to see that the student gets things properly. So that is in a way a performance. And a performance in a way is teaching because we learn as the maestros perform. We learn day in and day out every nuances and we have to keep it in mind, definitely grasp quickly and follow their methods. So when it comes to Veena, whether it be maestros or gurus or artists or students, willpower definitely comes from the cosmic power through these chakras and the sadhana in the music itself. And the virtues, Purva Punyam can put you in a limelight, and the Guru's blessing definitely makes you a successful person in a Veena career. Next. Now, we take Prince Ramavarma, he's called Raja Ashwati Thirunal. He was born in a royal family. but with all that, so many responsibilities, he still is in fine arts because of his Mesha Rasi ruled by Mars. And the high energy Mars gives him time, or he finds time for this perfect discipline sadhana. So according to his first performance in 1990, we understand it was his Venus Mahadasha or the Shukra Mahadasha. And when coming to, now the lady artist is coming. So Kalaimamani Srimati Gayatri, she has Venus and Ragu energy. That's why all over her recordings or her concerts went into TVs, CDs and cassettes, and definitely online. Now she reached out to the masses because of her Rahu energy particularly. So born in November, she has a Sun conjunct, they say, Sun along with Mars in the Tula Rasi. So that is the secret of her success. Next. Now, Sangeeta Kalanidhi Shri Dursama Iyengar, a great stalwart, definitely yes. So he had Mars in moon. So people in a strong moon has a wide, broad brain consuming, definitely high energy in their brains, so they can catch up anything. And because in a Mesha Rasi with moon, he became a very hard practitioner, and definitely he came up to be a stalwart in the field of Veena, and definitely a great teacher. Coming to Vidwan Shri Prashant Iyengar, I had the opportunity to get his Jataka, asking him slowly. I had to push him and give him the time. So according to him, he's the chairman of the Sri Rama Center of Performing Arts because the moon is in Mesha, which is ruled by Mars. And definitely he's very devoted to his mother, a lot of bhakti towards his mother because of the moon that is in him. Then the Mars in Vrikshiga Rasi gives the energy for him to compose, and that's why the 72 Melakarta Varnas were composed, and he's still a performer and a teacher. Next. So when coming to my guru, Sri Tulsiraman Sir of the Annamalai University, he's an assistant professor, just finished his PhD. So he's a doctor, Tulsiraman Sir, and his Mars is conjunct with Venus, that is Shukran and Sunny, in the Simha Lagna. So he's still performing, though he met with a big accident, he's come out of it and he's still performing and teaching. And he's one of the best teachers, the Shishya of K.P. Shivanandam Sir, the great maestro. Now I'm M. Tarakeshwari, I'm being a student of him. So my Mars is conjunct in Rahu, in the 9th house. And so this is looking into the 3rd house. So even though I have a smaller hitches in my Veena journey, but by the grace of God and these astrological factors are keeping me still going in the Veena field. And now I do perform in Temple of Fine Arts. I basically don't like performing outside, but still maybe a day comes I would like to, but I would like to teach until my end. So then another student. So this student is working out of our city, but for 10 years, she has the Vairagya to come and learn. So that is because of her Mars in the 2nd house of Simha and the Mercury ruling. So all over, if you see the Jatakas of the learners or the great maestros or the gurus, Mercury is the very important person. He's for fine arts. So without that, it is very difficult for all the artists to reach that height. That applies to engineering field or any other field. But for us as Veena musicians, Mercury is a very important person. So as a teacher of Temple of Fine Arts, I take great honor in thanking all the organizers and everybody here for listening to this. Thank you so much.
We thank you very much for having fly down from Coimbatore to here to present this beautiful presentation. When she was presenting, I have a very beautiful thinking, like always. For all the musicians, the moon should be very good. Chandrama manaso jataha chaksho suryo ajayata. In Purusha Sukta we say, Chandrama manaso jataha. So when we say Chandrama manaso jataha, manas, the manas is very related to music. So Chandra should be very good in the position. So he can present a beautiful soothing music like what we heard in Mami's concert today, in what we have been hearing, all the soulful music, because of the strong position of the moon in the horoscope. If the Shukra is conflicted by Kuja in the horoscope, they will get Tantra. வீணையில் கொஞ்சம் பேர் ரொம்ப தந்திரம் பண்ணுற பாருங்க, ரொம்ப வீணை அடிக்கிறது வாசிக்கிறது இதெல்லாம் பண்ணுறது பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் த கான்ஃப்ளிக்ட்ஸ் ஆஃப் த குஜா வித் தி சுக்ர. தே ஆர் குட் மியூசிஷியன்ஸ் பட் தே ஹவ் பீன் கிவன் திஸ் ஒன். பட் குஜு இருக்கிறதுனால அதோட மனசு அந்த விருத்தமாக போகிற மாதிரி பண்ணணும். This is what is there. There is a lot of other significance, but the great lady, she gave such a wonderful the presentation. Thank you very much, madam. We request Mudhukundan Ramesh sir to come and honor the artist. In the presentation, the soft copy.